Hello everybody, this is Mr. Hickman, your English teacher, and today we will be discussing the community-based project we have been working on, and this one will be the technology-rich lesson plan. We'll be discussing the problem that the teacher, Miss Ahrens, faced, the technology I proposed to help alleviate some of those problems within her classroom. And then finally, within this presentation, we'll discuss how to assess students' knowledge over the material we've discussed. So the teacher or educator that I have been working with for the community-based project is Miss Ahrens, and she is a 12th grade English teacher at Lamar High School, which is just about, 30 minutes outside of Russellville. I got the honor to shadow Miss Ahrens while I was doing my field experience for my introduction to education class, and she taught me a lot, and we actually had a lot of time to sit down and discuss a lot of the issues that she faces as an educator, and then the issues that she faces within her classroom at Lamar High School. And believe me, there are a lot of problems. The first day of school, or the first day of field experience, I was actually really surprised because there was a drug raid. And so that was my first experience inside of the classroom. And that goes into the problem that we face, or that Mrs. Ahrens faces. And she says it doesn't really have much to do with technology, even though technology in the classroom would be great, but other far-reaching issues such as poverty of the students, addiction of the students or their parents, abandonment, disability, etc. The list goes on and on and on of things that happen outside of the classroom that Miss Ahrens cannot control, but then those problems will spill over into her classroom. But she did add that more technology to the classroom would alleviate a lot of the minor stresses that stem from these bigger issues. So how would we align the curriculum with the state of Arkansas? Well, the project I have designed aligns with the Arkansas Department of Education curriculum in regards to grades 11 through 12 reading standards for literature. So upon completion of the in-depth project, which we'll discuss here in a second, students will have wholly examined a great and appropriate literary text in which they provide objective summary, as well as determining 2 or more themes and literary devices. The list of approved novels will offer students adequate exposure through the range of texts in which they will analyze the characterization, plot, settings, and learn how to hone in on the main idea of the text. These students will be working together as empowered learners by interacting, building, and helping one another throughout the project. You can take a look here. This is the Arkansas grade 11 through 12 reading standards for literature. And you're more than welcome to read that at your leisure. So next we'll discuss the 3 technologies we'll be using for this project. The first one is Anchor and Spotify. I love Anchor. It is a podcast maker. So you will be able to go on here and make your own podcast. This will come in handy later. And you will most likely just be summarizing your book as the report instead of doing it orally in front of the class. And then Spotify offers a lot of great educational podcasts for an array of topics that students can use. So I suggest you guys check that out on your own anyway. The next one, technology that we'll need to be familiar with, is Edmodo. And it's a really cool social media site for students, and it lets educators centralize all their material. And this is where we'll find all the beginning information for the project. And then finally, we'll have the Glide app. All together, we'll be making an app where we'll put all of this together for the presentation. So the sequence will be, students will log on to Edmodo, where we will post tons of videos about writing and plot structure and every information that they will need to do this project. So, and also the appropriate book list will be on here. So students will go to Edmodo, and then they'll go to the Glide app, and then they'll watch all the tutorials about the Glide app on Edmodo, and they'll begin building their own app to present to the class. And a part of that app will be a podcast in which students will summarize their book, and we'll put it in the media section on the Glide app. And all of the instructions will be on Edmodo. So the sequence is Edmodo, Glide, and Anchor. And finally, how would we assess this? Well, there's tons of ways to assess this. I'm really just looking for effort and, clarity and conciseness, and that you've basically read the book. I'm not looking for perfection or anything like that. A little bit of creativity would help, but effort, if you look at the rubric, the assessment example, we have things like stays on topic, content, speaks clearly, time limit, evaluates peers, comprehension, listens to others' presentations, etc. So it isn't too hard. So log on to Edmodo and begin your assignment, and hopefully this will be able to help alleviate some of the things that Miss Aarons is facing inside of her classroom.